Alright. Okay, here we are. Magic the Gathering, Arena, Online, Standard, Kamigawa gozaimasu. Jugan Control Standard, because why not? Because it seems funny, it seems entertaining. Let's play some nice 3-color decks. Just throwing everything in that is a lot of fun. Very exciting. Very exciting. I see the deck. I'm already super excited. I played it already quite a lot. Did some modifications. Honestly, made it even a little bit more late game oriented. Since honestly, all these spells like the growth spell or the ramp, the recovery don't really have a lot of impact. So it's really necessary to have some kind of very big mean beatdowns at the back of the game. And this is why we are playing red. I mean, why would we play red? Of course, to put some thick dragons inside, to put some real hardcore end game value and power. Some Abrade seems very reasonable because there are a lot of artifacts going around, and Abrade certainly the artifact removal of choice here. Good old Shigeki, mass removal, lots of ramp, some spot removal, and then a lot of very, very heavy hitters towards the end. I'd say we just give it a go right away, and let's have a look how this marvel of deck engineering is going to perform. Here we go first again. Obviously, we are quite lucky. Mana, not really good, but I don't think I'm gonna throw it away either. I mean, if we can make it to the Vastwood Surge, things certainly would look a lot healthier. I guess I can play both Dens consecutive to each other, since I still will have the Abrade available. But I will really need to draw another land here. On three lands, of course, which is useless. Okay, that's fine. Now with this we can already catch ourselves 2 swarms. Sure. This spawns an artifact. No, it's an enchantment creature. Okay, that is the problem, of course. But it's okay. Let's just hope we can ramp here into everything we need. Take 2 swamps. Thank you. Enemy ramps as well. Okay, sure. I mean, we are not really in any kind of need here to act. I basically feel like playing the Goldspan Dragon and then casting a Meathook Massacre for 1 maybe. We can kill the Restoration with our Binding. But in any case, we can remove the minions spawned by the Restoration with the Meathook Massacre. So I guess we're just going to attack with the Goldspan Dragon. And pass the turn. Yeah, Lolth sure is fine. Fortunately, we cannot kill it with the Abrade, but we can kill it with the
that I may see. I will cull the weak.
Turn. So we can play a Binding here. Kill the Lolth.
I return to the abyss.
Pay 2 for the Meathook Massacre. Attack and Abrade the Architect of Restoration. have a clear board. It seems like a pretty strong turn to me. We have a nice refill with the Shigeki. We can basically refill any of these cards if we play them now in the course. Vanishing Words, sure, it's fine. We cannot get this one back from the graveyard anymore, but it's not a problem. We can thin out our deck, which is nice as well. Play a... well, we can choose to attack with a Den, or we can play the Jugan Defense the Temple and pass. Sure, they can return Lolth, which we are just going to binding again. So no problem there. Sure, Lolth is not a problem. And with Shigeki, we basically have gazillion binding of the old god, so we can just... ah yeah, there's another one. Okay. I'm gonna kill the Lolth.
At least there is blood on your hands.
And we could attack with the Den here. Sure, that's very fine for me. Seems like the enemy doesn't care too much. We can get the Den as well back with a Shigeki. So no stress there. Enemy chooses not to use their Hive of the Eye Tyrant, which is very fine for me as well. Where are we mana wise? 8. So that means I could take 3 cards back already from the graveyard. I don't know if it's worth it really. 9 mana, I guess. 4, 8, 9. I guess there's still space for a Roiling Regrowth. Let's attack in here. Let's see if the enemy feels like blocking with the Hive. We can binding it. Sure. We cannot binding it because it's a land. And turn. Yeah, wedding announcement, that's fine. Okay, enemy does nothing. We will certainly sacrifice the green mana here to get another red and another green. And another forest. And we play this one tapped, and then we just pass. And then we can Shigeki for a million, for 2, 4, 6, 8. So recovering 4 cards, certainly not too bad. Sure. Let them have the trigger. 2, 4... For 8? No, for 6, right? For 8? Excuse me. Excuse me? And why can I not do this? I don't get it. I don't get it. Why can I not play this card? Maybe for 6? Okay. 1, 2. Oh no, the Abrade, I guess. Ah. Because we have to do it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now. Okay, great. Binding. Get the wedding announcement. We can attack with this then. Try target creature. Sure. You know what? Sure. I don't mind. If they think that this is the main target here, good for them. Now the fun part begins. I mean, we have lots of land taken out. We have 4, 8, 10, 11 lands on the field already, and that's enough for the enemy. They don't really want to continue this, which is reasonable because they're literally like, I don't know, 4 planeswalkers, the Goldspan, the Terror of the Peak, the Inferno. A lot of stuff they would have to face. 2 of the Burning-Rune Demons. I guess they were pretty burnt out. Shigeki in this case, always nice to get back resources into the hand. Use them. Now let's take a look here. Ares Tarantino. Here opponent goes first, which is acceptable after going first 3 times. This seems like a fine hand to keep. We have a bit of removal. We have a lot of removal, a bit of ramp, more ramp even. We have all our colors that we need. Most important, having the double black for the Meathook Massacre as well as the Burning-Rune Demon. Bard class, now that's a big problem. I mean, the legendary decks, of course we can remove the Bard class with Binding of the Old Gods. Yeah, this one we cannot remove either, that's a big problem. I guess we are going to play the Temple Defense here. I mean, we need to Binding the Bard class, otherwise this round will be over before it begins. I don't care about Isika, but once they level up the Bard class, yeah, that is a huge problem. Okay, they attack, we don't block, of course. There's Vigilance. Let's hope our little monk here survives. Okay, God of Kinship. What does this one do? 3 or more legendaries. I mean, we gotta stick with the plan. We have to remove the Bard class, otherwise these types of decks, they just escalate too much. You see, we can take some damage. That's super fine, but what we cannot take is a gazillion minions coming down and destroying us. Sure. Tybalt, well, I guess their ramp was more effective than ours. Okay.
Surely we can handle a little pain.
Let's get the Highland Forest. Is there any way we can remove the Tybalt? Does not seem like it. So, I mean, the enemy has the clear advantage here. Okay, going first. This seems like a very good hand. Let's see what the enemy is playing. Because its power was 2 or greater. I guess we pass here then. Please. Since it seems like that the Abrade will be very useful here. Colossal Plow, sure, that's super fine. We pass, I mean, we were already try the Colossal Plow. I will not leave it here to the odds that they cannot crew it. We'll ramp. And we can already, if there's a dire need, we can get back the Abrade with the recovery and immediately cast it. Portable hole, sure. That is fine. Yeah, to a certain extent we can accept this. I guess we put this one on black. Take more cards. We definitely want another black. And maybe we want another green here. Putting us to 6. Giant Ox, sure, that's not really a threat. Seven mana is great. Nonetheless, though, we'll play the Wrenn. We have a solid blocker, and we will not buff this one. But we'll play the Shigeki. Now let's see here. So we can return the Abrade basically any time. We can return the Shigeki to hand. And then still return 2 cards from the from our graveyard.
We will help you find safe ground.
Which actually doesn't seem the worst of all options here, so I think we're just gonna pass. Since with the recovery we can get the Shigeki back. Okay, let us ramp. And we take a Sulphurous Mine. And we can already channel this one for 2. Take back an Abrade. Take back a Thirst. Play a land. Search for more land cards.
We can foster much growth here.
Take Shigeki back with the recovery. So we can play him again, cycle him again. And pass. Patchwork Automaton is fine. Sure, we can take another 2 cards back. Which one is going to be the recovery, one is going to be a binding. I mean, we can do the massacre for 5, I guess, or for 6. Just basically clear everything. Create another tree fort.
From root to canopy, the trees are mighty.
Still have a Abrade open to destroy any kind of artifact they throw at us. And that's it. GG. Alright, so if we survive the first some rounds, the Junt, it just, of course, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger towards the end of the game. Now, this is quite a slow hand. I mean, I still think maybe we can keep it. Although without any ramp, it's really slow. We have an Abrade to basically take away 1 minion, but after that we are up to the gods of random action. But I guess we'll keep it anyways. We have the 2 swarms for the well, that's very good. It's very good removal here. We have the 2 swarms for the Meathook Massacre, which are definitely going to be very important here. Thalia, sure. Thalia we can just keep with a Bloodchief first. Light Spellbinder is fine. We have a lot of very, very strong cards. I guess they will just go for the Abrade. For the cheap. No, they go for the Wrenn. Okay, sure. We'll play the Swamp and pretend like we're a bit slow, but now having drawn the Roiling Regrowth, this will definitely help us. Let's see what they got. Adversary, sure. Aspirant, sure. Let's see where they put the counter. On the Aspirant, that's fine. Or maybe we just Abrade. I mean, we can just try to preserve our life total anyways. Not draw a land card, which is fine. We're going to go for 2 swamps here. We need 1 more though for the Despair. But anyways, we have the binding. That's fine. Okay, no mana here. Gotta play the binding though to stop a little bit of the bleeding and as well to get another land out. That we can take. Sure, that's all fine. We play the Visionaire. Yes. We can certainly take another hit from the Aspirant and then from next turn onwards, whenever it attacks we can block it but get the Shigeki back to hand. So at least prevent some damage there. But a 4/4 for now, it's not too difficult to handle. Brutal Cathar, of course, enemy has a great top deck. Now let's see if they find another removal for the Burning-Rune Demon. That will certainly take a Meathook Massacre. And what else will really annoy them? I mean, Lolth is really not too effective. Maybe we just take another Wrenn. I mean, we have 7 mana. We just offer them the choice between a Wrenn and Meathook Massacre. Now let's see what they will have here. They give us the Wrenn, okay, so they really don't want to play against the Massacre. Maybe they have some kind of buff. Usher of the Fallen, sure, that's absolutely irrelevant now. Luminarch Aspirant, gonna put the counter where? Now we have to be a little bit careful that it doesn't flip backwards and forwards now. The Brutal Cathar. So we're gonna play the expensive Wrenn here. And we'll make a token.
Do not. The trees can fight
pass the
their
turn.
own battles.
Now if it flips the first time, that's not a problem, because it does not gain any kind of advantage, but when it flips back, then it can exile another minion when it exiles our token. That of course is a huge problem. Now Bloodchief's Thirst here is very good. We can kill the Aspirant. Why can we not? We're still missing one. Ah, we could have played the Invoke Despair, but that's fine. We'll take some land cards.
Power
3 of them.
with tender care.
And I guess play another Blacksus here. And maybe just Invoke Despair them. Meathook Massacre is very welcome. we're gonna go aggressive. Since that's a 15 points of damage, they're almost dead. So they could choose to block and even lose one of the Shigekis. But they don't. Now they flip, which is fine. We have more than enough resources to deal with it. And I don't think they have a one-turn lethal here. Exactly, they're going for the token. But even in the air, we are already killing them. We have the Goldspan Dragon as well. We have the Meathook Massacre. I mean, resources are just plenty. Somehow they seem like they wanna elongate the game a little bit unnecessarily, which is fine. Gonna block there. Let's see if they have any way of removing the Burning-Rune Demon. No, they do not. So that's good. That's good for us. And let's have another one. Did it a disaster. Okay, well, it's not really a good starting hand, but I guess we have a lot of good draws, so maybe we're just gonna keep it and just try and survive. I mean, 2 Abrade certainly is very good, and if we can make it to the Goldspan Dragon, things shouldn't be too bad. I don't know, I think we're just gonna give it a try. The hand before looked awful as well in the beginning, and yeah, why not? Yeah, we're missing a black mana here to play the Meathook Massacre. That's okay. Reckoner Bankbuster. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna even give them the chance here. Another Bankbuster. Sure, you know what? They can have one draw and then we'll abrade it. Sure, alright. That's not a problem for me. I mean, we can just destroy the Bankbuster. The other one. And pass. Goldspan Dragon will enable us to play the second Meathook Massacre. Innkeeper sure is a fine card. I guess we want to play this on green. Hit the enemy with the Goldspan. Let's see what they got. Poison the cup, maybe. Meathook Massacre for 4. That's fine. We can attack with the den. Establish some board presence. We have the Lolth. We got a mirror box, sure. We have a Lolth. My god. Well, I could not have avoided this one anyway, so it's fine. Top deck a Chariot. It's fine as well. Well, they're not the only ones with a Meathook Massacre. We can pass the turn here. Resolve all. Let's see who's the better top decking player here. Sure, they feel off ruin my den. Doesn't really matter. Thinning out our deck definitely is to our advantage. Take a swamp here in case we draw the Despair. Another Meathook Massacre, certainly not what we're looking for. Let the top deck wars begin. Finding of the old gods, sure. That doesn't matter. We have another den. That's great. Let's see if they have another Field of Ruin. I guess we can play a Massacre for 0. Just to have it on the field. Enemy down to 8. Boring Clags, sure. Brings us down to 11. My turn. If we play the Invoke Despair, do we have enough mana? Yeah, that should be fine. So we'll just play this one. Down to 6. And we attack with the bear. For 5. And we kill our own creature. An enemy loses life. And we win the game. I guess a little bit too much disaster for this one. Disaster. Junt. Like I say, you just pass the first some rounds without being totally mangled over, and then you basically just win. No one can take away the end game from you. I mean, maybe someone can do it, and it's just my hubris right now, but generally speaking, it's very, very difficult. Okay, we're gonna go for the straightforward ramp here. Even Azorius Control, usually it's fine, or even Esper. You know, they have a lot of resources, a lot of removal, but especially with the Shigeki and the Bala Ged Recovery, we have an almost infinite amount of resources we can use, that sooner or later we simply just grind them out. So we can play the World Tree here. We can use the Binding on their artifact. Not to have not to leave any room here for them to take care of it, and already with the Shigeki being able to recover it from the graveyard, going to be very valuable. Yeah, Greasefang, sure. Okay, let's see. Highland Forest. Play the Snarl. Play the Wrenn and Seven. Now, finding some Abrades here certainly would be very helpful, but
forest is an army.
We don't need to ask too much. Okay, so not having Greasefang in mind certainly was a problem when playing the Binding of the Old Gods. There was certainly a misplay enabling them to create this little guy here, this little lady, little pilot. Okay, they have a black and colorless mana, which really shouldn't leave them too much opportunity, I guess. Another land card here, certainly not what we're looking for, so we're going to mill.
We will help you find safe ground.
And by the end of our turn we can take 3 cards back to hand. So we're just gonna pass here. And we will take the Binding, the Despair, and the Thirst, I guess. Since we already have like a gazillion mana, that doesn't seem too bad at all. Another prototype, sure. I mean, they can man them, but basically it's gonna be suicide, I guess. I don't know. I mean, are they going to attack us with it? Is that really gonna happen? Okay. With both? Sure. I mean, sure, okay, fine. Pass. Beat the Greasefang, of course. Since probably they have another one in hand, I guess. I don't know.
Our fire must not escape.
Yeah. Let's take 3 cards back here. Let's take the Invoke, take the Binding, and let's take the Thirst. Now if we would top deck, for example, another land, that is quite unfortunate. We're going to draw 1 card from the Invoke Despair. I don't know if that's really reasonable yet. Definitely we're going to Binding the Greasefang. We're going to attack with our token to make some pressure here. Should we just invoke? I mean, I guess after all they're just gonna play more things, so maybe it's the right time, right thing to do here. 2 cards, sure, we can drop 1 card only. Sure, we can discard a Swamp here. Any kind of Bala Ged Recovery here, if we find one, or another Shigeki maybe, should be extremely valuable, especially taking the Invoke Despair back. Really quite a threat. Miat Construct, sure. Target of a spell. I mean, I'm really sorry for the enemy here. That's 10. We're going to Meathook Massacre this and hit them for 11, I suppose. Good, they can crew here. That's fine with me. We gain a quadrillion life. And take him. Problem is, I don't know exactly how many basics I have in the deck left. I guess I could take a look. Still 10 lands, 1 swamp, 1 mountain, 1 forest. So that should be enough for the Roiling Regrowth. Yeah, they can take our token, that's fine. Another land card, sure, pass. Just minimizing the chances here that we draw land and maximizing the chances that we draw cards we want to play. Like Lolth, for example. Lolth is the card we want to play. Now, it's not necessary to make minions with her.
Swallow the light. My children will
We
take
prefer
care
to draw
of you.
cards. Drawing cards is the only thing we need now. Out-tempoing the enemy. Yeah, that's already a problem. Exactly for this reason I didn't make
light is
minions
insufferable.
here. Or Tezzeret as a final card, of course, is a huge problem.
I am more than human. You don't stand a chance. I made this one especially for you.
Okay, sure. My turn. Burning-Rune Demon. That is an excellent draw. I guess if we activate the Den of the Bugbear, enemy has to jump. But we can still do this after the Burning-Rune Demon. Or we can just get ourselves a Inferno or a Goldspan Dragon. Either of them will be fine here. Since the enemy has no protection against flyers, we can kill the Tezzeret.
Not when I was so close.
Now next turn with the Vastwood Surge, we have 14 plus the Den. We have lethal. Sure. Portable hole doesn't make any difference to us here. Meathook Massacre is fine. Sure. Yeah, another Vastwood Surge. should do the trick. Yeah. Efficient. Efficient, just grinding the enemy out with a never-ending, never-stopping flow of threats until they cannot take it anymore. I guess just similar to the Abzan deck that I uploaded some days ago. It's just the plethora of resources that you have available once you get beyond the first stages of the game, and once you're not in immediate threat of dying within some seconds. It's really powerful. We didn't even draw one Abrade this game, which could have taken out any of their artifacts as well. So pretty relaxed game. Now this is a really slow hand and we don't have any matching mana, so this is actually, we need to mulligan this. Of course, the hand got even worse, but if we mulligan again, it's just going to fire back at us. So we kind of have to take it here, I guess. I mean, you cannot play a ramp crazy deck like this without cards in your hand. That is certainly a problem. Yeah, of course, it has to be the naturalist here. Sure, Spirited Companion is not a problem. Goldspan Dragon is definitely a very welcome card. We're going to pass, sacrifice the forest for another forest and a swamp. Put a 1/1. Okay, sure. I mean, I rather, I guess, have them exile the Goldspan Dragon than exiling a Wrenn and Seven token. Although I'm not entirely sure here. No, I wanted to take a forest. Ah, that happens when you talk. That happens when you talk and you don't think. Well, let's see here. Abrade is still enough to eliminate this one. At least with the treasure we can still play the Wrenn and Seven, so it's like a medium. Okay, Candle Trap. Okay. Sure, I guess. I mean, we can still sacrifice the treasures for 2 mana, so that's not really a big problem. Restoration is fine, I guess, as well. We can take the 3 damage here, that's fine. They will exile this anyways with the Fall of the Imposter. Oh, Burning-Rune Demon, definitely a welcome addition here.
Trees are old and wise.
What is this one?
Heed their lessons.
Greatest power. With the greatest power. So I guess we should take some land cards
Rich
here.
soil grows mighty
I guess that's
forests.
more reasonable. There's a naturalist. Of course, they have another one. And another Fall of the Imposter.
Our resolve burns within us.
Okay, another mana. Well, really not much else to do then. Looking for even more land cards with the Wrenn and Seven. Play the Burning-Rune Demon. Now what do we want to get? I guess Invoke Despair will not be too shabby. I guess the Meathook Massacre will not be too shabby either. Both of them should be reasonable draws here. They're going to be a turn until the Imposter exiles a creature here. We get the Massacre. That's fine. We definitely will be able to clear the board here with the Massacre. Sure. It doesn't really matter, but I guess we block it anyways. Probably should have blocked the Jukai. Going to play the Snarl here. Going to play the Massacre for 4. Start the board. Gain some life. Pass the turn. Let's see if they can keep up with another Burning-Rune Demon and another Wrenn. Now things are going to become pretty spicy here. Now with the Burning-Rune we're going to go for a Shigeki and a Bala Ged. So they have the choice here which one it is going to be. And then we will start taking back a lot of cards from our graveyard. And to win. If they do not find any kind of sick card draw engine, going to be extremely difficult for the enemy here. Okay, they give us the Bala Ged, it doesn't matter, because we're just gonna get the Shigeki into our hand. Pass the turn. Okay, there's card draw number 1. Another Fall of the Imposter, sure. Now let's see what we can get back here. We can get back 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. One, two, three, 4, which I guess is the most reasonable to do. I mean, we can as well get back 2 cards, 3 cards. I guess. Just pass the turn. So we're definitely gonna get back the Invoke Despair. So they have to sacrifice one of their enchantments, and they're probably gonna sacrifice the Fall of the Imposter. Gonna get to Bala Ged Recovery. And number 3, I guess, will be a Vastwood Surge. Another land draw here. Borrow time, sure. They top deck everything they need here. They take away the enchantment. Okay, well, alright. That cannot be correct. That cannot be correct. Bala, Invoke, and an Abrade, why not? Let's see what they sacrifice. Probably the Spirited Companion. No, one of the tokens, okay. Sure, we gain life.
Speak your purpose.
We can abrade this one. We can actually look for some land cards since we missed quite a lot of land drops.
Contains great potential.
This one is going to be exiled again. So it doesn't matter, so we can attack with it. No need to wait. Now we're going to get the Shigeki back. Rinse and repeat.
You will not harm these woods.
We can sacrifice the Wrenn.
Canopy, the trees are
We can play
mighty.
another Wrenn. Make another token.
The trees can fight
Pass
their
the
own
turn.
battles.
Now, if either of the tree folk hits, that's already lethal. So not too shabby. Not too bad at all. Let's see, we had some really good games here. Come on, let's open a pack to satisfy ourselves. Another Cloudsteel Kirin. I don't know how many of these I have already. Too many, I assume. Okay, we go first. I mean, the Inferno is really not reasonable, but the ramp is, so we're just gonna keep it here. We're gonna play this greedy. Heal ourselves. Play this land. Play the Shigeki. And the Adversary, that's fine. We play the Word Tree and pass. Now let's see if this is some kind of zombie token stack. That shouldn't be a problem at all. Sure, we can block. Return it to hand. Hopefully find a red source. Well, another swamp is fine as well. All Death Touch minions. Tricky one here. I guess we'll play this for another black source. Now it's not activated yet, the World Tree. I guess we'll just try and go for the Wrenn and Seven. And anyways, make the token.
From root to canopy, the
We can
trees
block the
are
Tainted
mighty.
Adversary. The Fang of Shigeki cannot kill it.
We are unbreakable.
We definitely need to make some mana here. At least one land. I mean, in the biggest case of emergency, we can use the Bala Ged to help, but now it's not necessary anymore. Basically,
Rich
enemy
soil
is in
grows mighty
a
forests.
really tough situation here. We can play the Binding, kill the Fellstinger, pass the turn, abrade whatever they sent. Sure.
Leave our presence.
I guess it is acceptable in this situation to just play aggressively. So we're going to play the Inferno. We will hit the enemy for 6. And plus the Wrenn for as long as we can.
Every seed contains.
And as soon as we have enough mana on the field, we can cycle the Shigeki, get back, for example, Gold Span, Rolling Regrowth, the Binding, so honestly it doesn't really look too bad here. Or we can cycle the Shigeki now for 1. Get back the Binding. Pay 4 mana for it, that's not a problem. Binding the Scavenger. Couldn't care less. Hit the enemy for another 6. Well, since Wrenn is going to die anyways, you know what? We're going to put 2 lands on the
thrive.
2 lands on the battlefield. Just end turn, so that we have even more mana to work with and to pressure the enemy. Sure, they can go face here.
We did not choose this fight.
Face Stinger is fine. Brings us into range from the Bugbear as well, which does a good 4 damage. But I guess they're just going to concede. Let's see, maybe they have some kind of exile effect here. Sure, Inscription of Abundance. And we fin. Okay, let's see, can we win this immediately? I guess we can just take a Goldspan Dragon back. Or we can just take the Inferno back. And just kill the enemy. No need to think too complicated when you can just smack him. Smack him, yak him. We can play one more. It has been so satisfying playing this deck until now. Okay, we go first again. Now this is a pretty bad hand. We have 1 ramp spell, but we have the mana for binding. I don't know, let's give it a try. We played this pretty well with bad hands, so we'll just give it a shot. Okay, is it gonna be mono black control here? I guess that's okay. It is not mono black control, which is super fine. We still want to ramp here, so we're going to play the temple defense. Although it is kind of counterproductive with the Meathook Massacre, but what you're gonna do? Can't have it all. Now, what are they gonna play? Now we don't need to block here. Maybe they have their own Meathook Massacre. Yeah, that's more than reasonable. Yeah, let's play the Sulphurous Mire and pass. Necrotic Fumes definitely is not gonna have them here, I think. Wrenn and Seven, sure.
Symbios, the will of the woods is made manifest.
definitely going to binding the Wrenn and Seven.
Our leaves fall like tears.
Other Meathook Massacre, sure, I mean, alright. If they think they can just, like, out-tempo us like that, sure, I mean, I can recover the binding next turn. I guess I just play the forest here. I can activate the Hive. Oh no. Maybe I should have played the Highland Forest. Maybe I should just recovery this one. I guess I'll just pass. 6/6 is a bit of a problem. But it's okay. There we have our own Wrenn and Seven, which is excellent.
Heed the trees. They prepare for war.
Let's see if they can remove this token. Lolth, sure. Not enough mana though to cast the Necrotic Fumes.
I'm hungry. Won't you? I will get what I want.
My turn. That's good. It's very good. We blood this one.
Subservience will be rewarded.
We can play the Meathook Massacre for 1.
Do what I demand.
Here's the Lolth.
A pity
some
our
cards.
time is over.
Every seed contains great potential.
And play Swarm. Anything we like to recovery? Nope. Pass turn. Sure, they play the Chariot, which is fine. That one we will Abrade immediately. Now, since they play snow lands, quite likely that they have a Blood on the Snow. So, of course, at some point we would really want to start removing cards from the graveyard. They exile the...
Even in defeat,
They exile, that's fine. You can play the Goldspan Dragon here. Attack with both. Enemy goes down to 8. I guess we can just recovery the what can we recover? We have 2, 6, 7 mana. So we just recover the Binding of the Old Gods. Here's that token. Now they top deck a Blood of the Snow. That would be a really big problem. They don't, so it's a good game. So, once again, final deck discussion. Jugan Control Standard, definitely huge amounts of fun. I think it's pretty well balanced. like in the Abzan deck, the good old Shigeki, Bala Ged Recovery, Infinite Recovery combo is nice. Inferno as well as Goldspan to close out games which are close in the end, to close out games into our favor, because no one really expects you to have haste minions in this deck. Nice binding, removal. Jugan defends the temple. I guess maybe the most doubtful card here. Doesn't really have a lot of impact, but at the same time though, what is nice, it's a very good decoy. People usually get pretty triggered by it. They want to remove the monk, they want to remove the enchantment, and are not really happy seeing the Jugan defense on the board anyways. It's a nice deck. The land cards, of course, I mean, for me, you see, I had extremely little mana problems. The only real difficult thing to cast is the Invoke Despair. So that's a real challenge with the mana base how I have it, but it's like a super random. Basically, I just threw in cards until I felt like it was okay. 62 cards as well, playing 26 lands to have a little bit more of lands for the binding, for the search, for the Roiling Regrowth, just to have some more resources and some more ramp. Like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. It was a pleasure. It's a really nice deck, just like the Abzan one. 3-color Jund Control, super nice. And thank you for watching.